Today, we're going to be putting my new brand of puree to the test, APRON. I'm going to be making what I think is the ultimate Pornstar Martini. I'm going to show you my recipe for this. But just to kind of get it through my head to make sure that I'm not being biased because it's the new kid on the block, I'm actually going to make Pornstar Martinis using these other three ingredients, pretty much the big go-to ingredients here in the UK. And I'm going to see in a blind tasting which one I do actually prefer. So to start off with, let's make my ultimate Pornstar Martini, what I think is going to be my ultimate Pornstar Martini. This would be the recipe that I do teach on my cocktail masterclasses, on my events. For the long-term viewers, you might kind of notice there's no Rubicon anymore. I don't know whether it's just me. I've stopped using it in recent months because I think there's, I don't know, it just tastes slightly different to me. It hasn't kind of been working. So I've just been swapping straight to Funkin Puree. I've kind of doubled up on the amount that I would use of the Funkin Puree and got rid of the Rubicon. So this is now, instead of a 6 ingredient cocktail, this is now a 5 ingredient cocktail. So I'm going for my vodka of choice. I'm just going to talk you through this. You know, previously I've kind of gone on about the vanilla vodka that I think you should use and blah, 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 blah. Do you know what? In all honesty, these days, because even Absolute, I've mentioned this time and time again, Absolute have brought the ABV down. They've added more sugar to their stuff. So even in the grand scheme of things, that these, shall I say, lower quality vodkas, I don't mean that in the nasty way, but they're, you know, they're not your expensive, your sort of 25, 30, 35 pound vodkas. These are your cheap ones. So on that sort of under 20, under 18 pound vanilla vodkas in effect, I don't really think there's too much difference. But again, as I always say, use your favorite. Whatever you think, if you've done a blind tasting, brilliant. You know, that's the best way to do anything, taste it blind. But for me, this is what I use in my cocktail masterclasses. So I'm going for a 50 ml of my vanilla vodka. 25 ml of Passoa. Of course, you need the Passoa, your passion fruit liqueur, just to give it that little bit of colour and that little bit of extra passion fruitiness. We're going for that. Vanilla syrup. I always do add vanilla syrup to this. 15 ml, 1.5 of that. Again, Mon is just a brand I've settled on for years and years and years. I have swapped with Bristol a couple of times, but I always come back to Mon purely for ease of use. Ease of availability. I get it anywhere, to be fair. Lime juice, freshly squeezed lime juice, 25 ml of that. Now I'm going to come down to, every bone in my body wants to do 50 ml here, but actually I'm not going to do 50 ml. I'm going to bring this down to 30 ml of this passion fruit. So 30 of the APRON. Double strain that into your martini glass. And obviously we're going to garnish that with a dried passion fruit from Frona. Now that's not the first Pornstar Martini I've made with the APRON. I'll be honest, I really, really like it. It is fantastic. It is light. It is super fresh. It is vibrant. It's not tart in there because you've got that little bit of vanilla, but it's certainly not sweet. I think, in my head, I think that is the best ever passion fruit martini or Pornstar Martini I've made using the ingredients that I've got there. You might even get to the realms of upgrading the Passoa with something like Chinola or something like that. But for ready mass market ingredients that most bars here in the UK will be able to get their hands on, that is flipping it incredible. But is that all in my head? Is it actually better than the other products? What we're going to do now, I'm going to quickly make these up in exactly the same spec. The whole reason I went for 30 ml was because I know 30 ml of that, or 50 ml, what I wanted to do of that is actually going to be way too much for the Real and all that. So I want to give it a fair option. I'm going to do exactly the same specs of all three of these. I'm going to get a famous celebrity to come in here and swap the glasses around. So it's going to be truly blind. And then I'm going to pick the winner. Right, I'm going to try and do this as best I can. I can't see anything. So let's just move these to one side. Remember, the APRON's number 1, the Funkin's number 2, the Real's number 3, and the ODK is number 4. So you will have seen Mummy Barman kind of swap these around. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Right. So the first one, I'm going from this end. that's good. Oh, that's really good. It's light, fresh, vibrant passion fruit. Oh, yeah, I like that. I'll quite happily drink that. So, yeah, really, really tasty, that one there. Let's just put that beside the chopping boards there, right in the middle. So, happy with that one. Number 2. Wow, really sweet. Fake is nowhere near the first one. It's still passion fruity forward. It still tastes, but it's like syrupy. Now I suspect that's the Real or the ODK. It has to be. You could argue. I would hazard a hunch that that's the Real, because I think with the vanilla sugar in there as well, it's going to make it a little bit too sweet. As I said, the ODK one I do think balances with a little bit of sugar. But that said, getting past the sweetness, it's just not. You've got this sort of fake cloyingness to it. It's tasty. It will sell. Put it on a bar menu. It will sell, undoubtedly. So, yeah, nowhere near as tasty. So I'm going to put that side in the middle. So, yeah, favourite so far. Right. Where are we going? Right, here we go. There we go. Right, so this one. That is quite tart, not as sweet as the previous one. I recognise that. That's got to be the ODK. That has to be the ODK. That's not a puree. That is a fruity mix. Definitely, as I say, you can balance these out, but they do need that vanilla kind of sugar. It's not sweet. This is the point I want to make. The ODK one definitely does need some sugar to go with it to balance it. But it's not even in the same ballpark as this one. Oh God, that's light years ahead, right? So I purely on the sweetness, I prefer it to, oh, nearly sent that fly. I prefer it to that one there at the front. So this is the last one, right? Oh, that's really good as well. That's really good. Right, that's got to be a puree. These two have got to be the purees. The other two have got to be the fruit mixes, have to be. That's tartar. I'm sort of doing that to my gums. It's not a competition. That is just lighter, fresher. It tastes like I'm just eating a passion fruit. That's incredible. This is really good. This is so much better than those two. So much better. I would just say it's a little bit tartar, that's all. I would say because it's not as light and fresh, I would say not kind of as authentic, if you know what I mean. That has to be the Braron. It has to be. Well, I'm hoping that's the Braron. That tastes incredible. Now, if I paid money for that, I'd be really, really happy. That is so, so good. That'll be what I would be used to. I'm going to look really stupid now if that's the Braron. But I just think there's something about this one here that just makes that a level above. So, favourites. Second favourite. Third favourite. And without breaking it, fourth favourite. I think we're on the chopping board. Right, the reveal. Whew. So, right, you can tell straight away those two are the purees. Definitely because of the froth on there. Those two are the fruity mixes. So in last place, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in last place, number 3. 1, 2, Real. Yeah, I think I got that. That was the sweet one, the really, really sweet one. So Real there. what's that? Number 4. Yeah, looked like a 7 then. I was like 4. Right, number 4 is that one. Number 2, Funkin'. Wow, there we go. The new kid on the block, number 1. The new kid on the block has smashed that. That is absolutely delicious. Don't just take my word for it. Do a blind tasting yourself. See if that comes up trumps. Cheers.